President Akufo-Addo says he's hopeful the new Zongo Development and Inner Cities Minister Mustafa Hamid would expedite implementation of the Zongo Development Fund to help develop predominantly Muslim communities across the country. He was speaking at the ceremony to mark Eid al-Adha celebrations at the Independence Square here in Accra.
I am confident that the new minister will continue with the impressive work undertaken so far by his predecessor and ensure the fulfillment of our pledge of accelerating the pace of development and the provision of essential social services to communities around our country in a manner that answers to the real needs of all our people.
Well, it's been more than 18 months since the creation of a ministry dedicated to the development of Zongo communities in the country. It is, however, emerging that despite budgetary allocations in 2017 and 2018, the ministry is yet to disburse any of the funds. The Zongo Development Fund has received 290 million cedis since 2017. Newly appointed Zongo and Inner City Development Minister Dr. Mustafa Hamid says the ministry is working to get the fund operational. He spoke with Joy News during the Eid al-Adha celebration at the Independence Square.
After the passage of the law, there was the inauguration of the board, there was the selection of the CEO and deputies of the fund. What I inherited from the past minister is the search for, first of all, office accommodation to house them, to staff the place, and then to begin to look at the proposals, to take on proposals that would be implementable in these Zongo communities to ensure their development. So, quite frankly, the fund itself has not taken off.
Well, taking photos at events has changed over the years from the days of the analog camera to the digital age, where you can take a photo and have it print out in minutes. This has made a difference in the lives of photographers and their clients. On the sidelines of the celebrations of this year's Eid, my colleague Justice Bedu spoke to some photographers on how their job has changed.
Posing for the cameras, a day of happiness for the Muslim community. These moments are being captured not just for today, but for the future. But the means of freezing these moments is changing. Emmanuel Newton has been taking photos for 30 years. He says the introduction of the compact photo printer has changed the industry, including how much photographers are getting out of their work.
If you are lucky and you are able to get more clients, you can even get from maybe 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedi. But those days, you cannot even get 100 Ghana cedi.
If you take picture and want it in your phone, or we want us to print it for you, we can do it for you. One copy is 5 cedis.
A compact photo printer is a standalone inkjet printer designed to produce 4x6 or 2x3 inch prints from digital cameras. It works without the use of a computer and can be taken anywhere easily.
With this kind of technology, you get it instantly, and at the same time, so sharp, so neat, unlike where we were before. You see, this is a new this thing now. We are in a new dispensation, and then the world now has gone global technology. So for it, it's far, far better.
Just a few years ago, when you took a picture, you needed to wait for the photographer to extract the negatives and then eventually produce the final printout, a process that could take an average of 1 week at least. The story of the revolution that the compact instant printer is having shows how technology is changing everyday living in Ghana. Many of the people patronizing the services of the instant photographs say life is better now. Justice Bedu, Joy News, Accra.
In the Upper East region, prices of sheep are said to have dropped compared to last year during the period of the Eid. According to traders, many Muslim farmers now prefer to put their monies together and buy cattle for the Eid sacrifice because they believe it makes better economic sense to buy a cow instead of a goat. On Monday, our Upper East correspondent Abesore followed a young Muslim man in Bolgatanga as he and his family prepared for the Eid al-Adha celebration in our reports.
It's a sunset on a market day here at the livestock market in Bolgatanga. On a normal market day, this place would most likely be deserted at this time. But today, brisk business continues even after closing hours. Many buyers and sellers are still busy bargaining prices. Amongst them is Ibrahim Sadiq, who wants to buy a ram. Even though the prices of sheep this year are said to be low compared to last year, Ibrahim is still struggling to find a ram at a price within his budget. After several minutes of checking out the animals and bargaining prices with the traders, Ibrahim gives up.
I asked for even one sheep. I was told about almost 1,000 Ghana cedis. A sheep at the cost of 1,000 Ghana cedis. As a matter of fact, it is so strange to me. So I finally decided that I have to play a little bit smart, because most of the times when they get to the last later part of they are selling, if they don't able to get buyers, what happens is that they lose hope. So I'll be able to come back tomorrow as early as possible when I can strongly believe the price will be a bit down for me.
David Akolbiri is one of the traders here. He has been in the business of selling livestock for many years. He tells Joy News business this year has not been good, and today being the eve of the Eid al-Adha celebration has not made it any different.
Actually, the market is not fine as compared to the previous year. They've been buying, but this year they're not buying the animals. Last year, this animal, it cost about 1,400, but this year you can get 1,000. So the price of your animals has been reduced. And nowadays, people know that buying animals for your father, you can just decide to buy as 2 or more children. So you can decide to contribute money and buy one for your father. So because of that, the animals are not being buying as compared to the previous years. Because everyone would like to buy one for his father, but nowadays they can contribute and buy one. Tomorrow, this one will just reduce to 800 because of the side that is even up to 1,000. And most of them always say that they prefer to buy cow than sheep, because when you buy a cow 1,000 and sheep 1,000, so they say they will go and buy cow and kill small sheep. So this year they're not buying the sheep.
Ibrahim decided not to buy the ram he came here for, but that is mainly because a few weeks ago he purchased 2 sheep and kept them in anticipation of a hike in prices today. Back home, his sheep and those belonging to neighbors have been made ready to be sacrificed for the Eid. Ibrahim's wife, Mariam, is also getting ready the ingredients she will use to prepare food for the celebration.
I'm preparing towards tomorrow. I'm just from the market like that. See my tomatoes, my pepper, my vegetables. I'm dressing them for tomorrow. As you can see, you have bought a sheep. And after a month that they will come and slaughter it, so that I'll prepare my stew. Things have increased. For instance, it's not because of the salad. These tomato salads will be about 3 cedi or 4 cedi, but today 15 cedi, 20 cedi. Carrot, when you go to market, they will say that one cedi, one like this, 1 cedi. But last year, about 3 or 4, 1 cedi.
Ibrahim and his family will be joined by extended family relations and friends for the celebration. For him, this is what makes Eid al-Adha very important.
So we're actually making sure that tomorrow we'll have rice to eat, not just to eat, but in a larger quantity, where we're able to also distribute to the households around, friends that are around. But before then, right after the Eid prayer, which will start around 8 to 9 o'clock, once we are done from the Eid prayers, we move straight to the house. Then by then, the Imam have done the slaughtering of the ram already. And once he does, we follow same. We get to the house, we slaughter our own, prepare the meat. It's also necessary that in this special day, When you slaughter a ram, it's not only for your family, it's for this entire community. So people that are closer to you, family that are closer to you, you cut portions of the meat, take it to those families, give to them for them to use for their preparation. Then the remaining one, we cannot use those one for our own preparation in the house.
For Ibrahim Sadiq and his family, Eid al-Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice, is a time for sharing, especially with the less privileged. And even though prices of things have generally gone up, they plan to mark the day just like they have done in past years. For Joy News, Albert Sori, reporting from Bolgatanga.
In Kumasi, livestock sellers reported low sales ahead of Eid al-Adha celebration. They say demand for the sacrificial animals is the lowest in the last 7 years. Lava Firm's Kwesi Deborah visited livestock hubs in Kumasi and has filed this report.
Off the busy and congested Amakum Asawasu Road, which gets traffic wardens and other security personnel very busy, is a livestock market at Akwetialai. It's that time of the year. The sheep are back. A critical and significant aspect of Eid al-Adha, or Feast of Sacrifice, is the slaughter of animals. It commemorates obedient Abraham's readiness to sacrifice his son Ishmael to prove his faith in God when angel Gabriel provided a ram for the ritual.
The demand of 5.5. Was it 5.3?
Dramani Bariche from Dema in the Branhafu region has been here for 3 days. He brought 23 sheep, 10 of which have already been bought. My customers came for 5 sheep for retail, and he's not been able to bring my money. I'm almost done spending what I earned. Dramani's friend, Stephen, is hopeful, but he's almost given up the excitement of celebrating the Eid al-Adha with his family back home. Last year, we sold some for 600 cedis, but for the same sheep, we could not sell for 500 cedis this year. Buyers complain there's no money. Sibu is a potential buyer. He believes the relatively cheaper price of cattle accounts partly for the low demand. When they ask for the price, you tell them and they say it's too expensive. Cattle is better. At a Binchi market, clients are busily bargaining with traders. Traders like Bauer, who get their flock from the northern Ghana, believe they are running at a loss. They are not so expensive, but people are turning to cattle. It's worse than every year. Bauer and his friends don't have a clue on how to survive this period, only counting on the blessings of the season to salvage the situation. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, but still ahead in the bulletin, the death of yet another mobile money vendor at the hands of armed robbers has once again brought to the fore the high risk those engaged in this rather very critical venture are exposed to.
And it's still going on because I'm also afraid that when they come to us and then we didn't get any money from us, maybe they could shoot us the same way as they did to the guy.
The police, meanwhile, say they are willing to work with the telecoms chamber on how to minimize the attacks on the vendors.
They appreciated our concern. They said they will come back to us, but as of now, we've not heard anything about them. But we are trying to do our best. We need to do something about it. It calls for a policy.
Tonight, we'll continue to explore how the operations of mobile money vendors can be better safeguarded. The Central Region Police Command and the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly have begun demolishing illegal structures along the beach in Cape Coast. And the next exercise, they say, is to rid the city of criminals. The exercise, according to the police and the assembly, is targeted at areas with structures offering safe havens to criminals and where narcotics and other illicit activities take place. The leader of the demolition squad, Deputy Regional Police Commander DCOP Educhum Bediako, tells Joy News they will do all in their power to flush out criminals from the city of Cape Coast. Richard Kwejunyako has more.
This place is called Cape Coast Anafu, and the place is very notorious for criminal activities. Here is a place for all types of narcotic drugs. You can name it. This is the place where they do the trading. It is a fishing community whereby the inhabitants are very hard-working people, but it has been infiltrated by criminals from all over Ghana. Criminals come from Ashama, Mankesim, you can name it. They come and converge here and operate. And we have seen that there are many ghettos whereby when these criminals come, they harbor them. The municipal assembly or the metro assembly have given them several warnings to evacuate from such places, but all has failed. So we gave them the last warning to move this area. Still, they were adamant. So today, the police, together with the Metropolitan Assembly, have embarked this operation to demolish all unauthorized structures along the beach. That's why we have come here this morning.
So what are we looking forward to achieve at the end of the day?
Our main aim is to flush these criminals away from this area. So when we are able to destroy their abode or where they meet, I think gathering will become difficult for them and the place will become unattractive for them and they will leave this area so that we have our peace over here. We are not going to end it. We are going to monitor. After this, every evening too, there will be operational activities over here with our men. Thank God we have been able to form a neighborhood watch committee here whereby the youth have voluntarily joined. We have quite a number who are also prepared to protect the citizens in collaboration with the police. So with the neighborhood and the police, I think we can monitor this area for a peaceful settlement.
Good evening and welcome to Business. My name is Sandra Sinamapenu, and the Adasongo Lagoon is under serious threat following activities of some businessmen who are wreaking havoc on the salt mining sites. We have more in the following report.
From afar, this is what is left of the Adasongo Lagoon. Dry, parched, and degraded. The once vibrant salt mining field has been deserted, leaving just a few but privileged residents in the winning business. According to some residents, activities of private winners is wreaking untold havoc on the lagoon. Instead of waiting for the rains, private businessmen have demarcated portions of the lagoon for salt winning. This development, they told me, has affected fishing activities in the lagoon.
So this is the Songo Lagoon, and on a normal day, this whole area would have been filled with water from the lagoon and also for the sea for the winning of salt. But lack of policy and regulation for the activities here has left many to put the laws into their own hands. What is currently happening is that instead of waiting for the rains, some locals who can afford pumping machines have actually brought in pumping machines to pump water from the sea into the lagoon, pushing a lot of locals out of the mining business.
With the help of pumping machines, water is pumped into these dikes, popularly known as Achiako, for production. The development has virtually driven many local salt winners out of business. On a normal day, these women would have just walked into the lagoon to win their own salt, but instead, they now work as laborers for dike owners. Scooping out the crystallized salt and carrying out of the dikes cost 1 cedi per bowl. Sometimes 20 cedis per head on a dike a day. Some residents alleged in the quest to produce more, some winners are now adding iodine to the water, bringing the purity of the salt into question. The Songo Lagoon produces a chunk of salt consumed in Ghana and neighboring countries like Togo and Nigeria. Current developments have affected the level of production. We were told on a normal day about 25 trucks visit the site to buy salt, but this has reduced to about 5 in a day. Production has drastically reduced. One would have thought with a reduction in production, prices would have gone up. The story is rather the opposite. This is because there is daily winning of salt in the lagoon, making the commodity available at all times. A small sack of salt, formerly sold at 5 cedis, is now going for 3 cedis 50 pesos. The bigger size now goes for 20 cedis instead of 50 cedis during the lean period.
So the full report will be airing tomorrow on AM Business, so make a date and watch the story. And moving on, the Ghana Airport Company Limited has carried out its second test on the Terminal 3 facility at the Kotoka International Airport. Today's exercise was to ensure that the facility is fully ready for its October 2 commissioning. Charles Haite has more.
The new Terminal 3 is expected to ease the pressure on the existing 2 terminals and has the potential to handle up to 5 million passengers a year, with an expansion potential of up to 6.5 million passengers. Construction of the new terminal was completed by the end of July 2017. The 2-year expansion at Kotoka is expected to generate about 900 temporary jobs and 760 permanent jobs during the operations and maintenance phase. Airport operator and manager Ghana Airport Company Limited broke ground on the construction of its flagship project Terminal 3 on March 2016. The project is a part of Airport Company's capital investment program that entails the construction of a new terminal at the Kotoka International Airport, the only international airport in the country, and the rehabilitation of other regional airports managed by the GACL. To this end, the Ghana Airport Company successfully facilitated 302 passengers through Terminal 3 departures on Tuesday, August 21, 2018. These passengers were traveling on Delta Airlines to New York and South Africa Airways to Johannesburg. The use of Terminal 3 for the 2 flights was to test equipment and facilities at the new terminal.
Sales have been somewhat slow for persons in the butchery and livestock business in some Muslim communities in the capital today. Joy Business's Karen Dodu has been around town and has come through with the following report.
The Eid Mubarak celebration is the festival of sacrifice and crowned with slaughtering livestock with a dish for the day. From as far as Burkina Faso, some of these traders bring their cattle to sell. Aziz Mohammed, who has been selling here at the Nima market since Saturday, tells me that although sales have not been so good, he is hopeful that sales will pick up.
There is going small, but the market is not like last year.
Why? Why is it not like last year? Do you know why?
No, it's not running like last year because then people are not buying and then the people are complaining about. Even I brought the big ones, but I all sell it without any profit because of the people are complaining they don't have money. So I bring the medium size and the small one.
Okay, so last year at the end of the whole celebration, how much were you able to make or how many were you able to sell compared to this year?
Last year I sell over 15, more than 15, but this year I sell, the one I sell even in no rate 30.
Another set of people in the livestock business are butchers and the beef and mutton sellers. For Muslims who do not have 500 cedis or above to buy either a goat, sheep or cow, they come to the butchery to buy the already slaughtered ones. And with as low as 12 cedis, they can get a kilo of good meat. So I'm now here at a popular butchery at the Nima market. I want to see how sales are going for them on this day. If business is really booming, and I'm here with one of the butchers. Hello, sir.
Mohammed Awal is my name.
Okay, Mohammed, I can see that some people are here to buy meat, but tell me, how is the market going today?
We thank God. We thank God because the market is coming small. Well, most of the people too, they buy their own cow, some buy some sheep. That's why you see that many people are coming to buy the meat today.
On a normal market or a busy day, most of the stands, every stand has a butcher, but today some of the stands are empty. Why is this so?
Because most of the butchers, they go and do the outside work because people buy their animals and they cannot slaughter it by themselves, so they come and hire our people to go and do it. That's why you see, as I'm here too, if somebody come, I see that he say he have some animal to go and kill for him, I'll call my boy and leave the table for him, then I'll go there and do.
A walk along the streets of Niman showed that indeed most households were doing the slaughtering of the cow themselves. Well, the reason is to obey tradition. Awal Ibrahim explains further.
Well, you know, it's a tradition. This day is a great day on the calendar of Islam. And then it's the time that families come together. So when you buy the animal at the market, it wouldn't be nice for you taking it to the abattoir for someone to kill and then work on it for you. It's very nice you bring it home. The elders in the family prays over it and then slaughters it, so the family can feast over it.
Well, whether sales are good or bad, it's believed the family gathering and parties will be going on tonight and even tomorrow. So just don't forget to invite me for that special meal. Reporting for Joy Business, Karin Dodu.
Back at the Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, and that's all for business today. My name is Sandra Sinamapen. Have a great evening.
Now, 4 police officers who were hospitalized after they were shot at Zamrama line here in Accra have for the first time spoken about the attack. 2 other civilians were injured in the incident a little over a week ago. The 4 police officers told Ghana Police Watch they were shot at by a lone gunman but could not fire back because they could not fire back because they felt that other civilians or innocent bystanders could have been hit in the incident.
Shot on my left arm, and another one was on my back. That is here, my back here. I had a shot on my back here.
I was shot at my thigh, and looking at the location or the scene where we find ourselves, performing the duty in which an informant informed us concerning a gang planning for a robbery. It was such a location or such an area which we can term as a slum area, which people are densely populated in that particular vicinity, Sukura, Tramwa Junction to be precise. That's the location. And the reason why we couldn't fire back was solely at how dense and how populated the place was.
I was shot at my right arm and the bullet stuck in. So as they took me to hospital and then they operated on me and then removed the bullet.
The police officers were responding to a robbery attack. This episode of Ghana Police Watch shows sometime this week, so we do make a date for that. Now, the Zone 3 Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition took place at the Takwa Goldfields over the weekend. The competition was under the auspices of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, the Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission, and the St. John's Ambulance. Richard Kojonyakun was there for Joy News.
The Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition is an annual event held by the mining industry to educate the citizenry on basic first aid tips as well as foster consciousness of safety in their everyday lives. The event is held by the Ghana Chamber of Mines in collaboration with the Inspectorate Division of Minerals Commission and the St. John Ambulance Ghana. Among other purposes, the competition seeks to underscore the importance of safety in the mining industry and also educate employees and host communities on health, first aid and safety practices. The competition, which has the endorsement of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, was in two parts. First, there was an oral first aid and safety contest. The various participating mining teams as well as the community teams took part. This was followed by a practical competition by the competing teams.
Wait, let me check if they ride safe. Yeah, they ride safe. I can see that our gentleman has already been rescued by the ERT guys. Said quickly barricade the area. If it is a let's attend to him and do assessment.
While the oral quiz competition was broadcast live on national television, the practical contest took place at Goldfields Ghana Tarkwa Mine on the 18th of August 2018. The 2018 Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition coincided with the 90th anniversary of the chamber and is under the theme Safety, a bedrock of responsible mining. The participants further charged the atmosphere with Jama songs. Addressing the gathering, General Manager of Goldfields Tarkwa Mines, Stephen Osei-Bempa, says the mining firms will continue to uphold safety and first aid skills to further reduce occupational injuries.
The mining industry is committed to a workplace that is safe and free of occupational health risk to employees, visitors, host communities, and all stakeholders, with the objective to eliminate preventable injuries. The objective of Goldfields in terms of safety is to achieve zero harm. And another one, on our journey to reach this goal of safety, of zero harm and safety, we have made significant progress, which is worth mentioning today. With a total workforce of about 5,000, comprising of employees and contractors, we have been able to reduce injury on the mine from 62 in 2010 to only 5 in 2017. During the year 2017 also, we were able to work continuously for 232 days without even a minor injury to anyone.
Naneku Asante of Golden Star School won the first prize, with Adolfo Kwabena Daze picking the second prize of the quiz competition. In the practical session, Golden Star Mining Firm picked the first prize, with Goldfields Tarkwa Mines picking the second prize. Asanko Gold Mine placed third, while Newmont Ahafo Mines came fourth. In the community event, Goldfields Tarkwa Mines came first, with Golden Star picking the second position. Newmont Ahafo Mines picked the third position, while Asanko Mines picked the fourth position. Richard Kwejonya Akon, Joy News, Tarkwa.
A rural community in the Pandai district of the Northern Region was thrown into a festive mood following the donation of a computer and projector to the school there. This was after a Joy News report on how the ICT teacher at the Girandongo Presby School struggled to explain some basic terminologies went viral. The Girandongo pupils, like their peers in many rural schools in Ghana, had challenges learning the subject because they do not have a practical feel of computers. Jojo Kobna reports all that has changed now.
A mini Durbar at Girandongo in the Pandai district of the Northern Region. Residents are joyous. They dance and sing their hearts out. And the reason is simple. A philanthropist has donated a computer to the only school in the community. The donation was not just out of the blue, but triggered by a Joy News report. Let's go down memory lane. In November 2017, I sat through information communication technology lessons at Girandongo JHS. The aim was to find out how students were coping with ICT lessons without computers. Lesson for the day: how to create a folder. Pardon the spelling error and concentrate on what the teacher had to say about how to create a folder.
create a folder. Before you can able to create a folder, when you on your boot on your computer, we have some place you click. You click and you see the place folder, and when you click, the folder will, the empty folder will appear.
After explaining what a folder is, the students try to share what they learned.
Folder is a kind of storage device which where the documents are kept.
A folder is a form of distance. It's a form of picture when you keep your distance, your things inside. Example like information or documents. There.
Kind of a computer when file or data input.
This is sad and perhaps tragic. Unfortunately, the children don't understand the lessons, but the teacher insisted everything was fine.
Yes, they understand.
Did they tell you they understand? Does it show that they understand?
Yeah, the reason why I'm sure that they understand is that when I contest them class tests or class exercise, they'll perform.
This story went viral, prompting a philanthropist, Kate Abuaje, to donate a computer and a projector to the school.
I'm coming to create a folder.
Okay, go ahead. A circuit supervisor at the Pandai District Education Office took their children through ICT lessons.
Now step 2 says you should do what? I should right click. So now right click. Where's your right? No, this way.
Students of Jirandogo did not only learn theories of how to use a computer, they finally touched one.
I feel very happy because I have never seen some before. So today, as I have touched it, I'm very happy so much. Because I have never used it before. My hand was shaking before. I have never used it before. So it was difficult for me before I created a folder.
I feel better because I have never seen some before. When you bring it to us and we also use our hands to touch it, I don't know what to say to you. It's too much. Our school, this one, I don't know, it's too much because of our school, we can't learn. When we are in the classroom and rain started to cloud, then all of us will run to our places. Because of that, that's why we don't get any proper teachers. Teachers, they'll come here and they don't know where to stay.
My circuit has got 17 schools, 4 junior high, 13 primary schools. And this is the first junior high to have access to this facility.
The ICT teacher, Lifan Da Costa, is currently updating his knowledge on ICT.
I'm very thankful Chinese people, including Ghana Volunteers Academy, that they should never forget about Jirandogo community. We are still begging them for the building.
This is worth celebrating, so I joined them to dance.